had a bit of a sabbatical over Christmas. I've had a bit of a haircut. So, or what's been happening since we've last worked on yet? We did a bit of this light stuff in the back. You have an ankle issue and back issue, as far as I'm concerned. Anything else to add to that?
No, it felt quite good for a few days afterwards, and yeah, I haven't had as much pain, so yeah, it seems to have had a positive effect. The light session seems to have done some good, really.
Okay. So once you just push it down to my hand, and then release. So push down, and then relax. Push down. Okay. But Owen's feet, when he's walking, he should be walking heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. As he turns his feet out, that puts more pressure on this here. Okay. So what his actual arches are doing like that. So instead of walking heel toe, he turns his feet out more. That's coming from the hips. Nice and light. We did not work on his hip. We found that there's muscles there you didn't even know you didn't even know of having hip issues.
I think I wanted to know them.
You didn't even want to know. After you get it to contract, you have a far better chance of getting the muscle to lengthen. Because we're not looking to stretch the muscle. If you stretch an elastic band, once you let go of it, it goes back to the same length it was. Whereas if you lengthen something, it's going to stay that way. Okay. I'm breathing in. And breathing out. And release. Let it go. And just concentrate on the breathing for there. So stabilise your hip here. Breathing in. And breathing out. Do you feel pressure or pain, Owen?
Just pressure.
Okay. Where do you feel that exactly?
Just right at the back.
Yeah.
Bottom of my glutes, I think.
That's it. Breathing in. And breathing out. And we found that more or less we released his hip flexors. So when he's sitting down, the muscles when you're sitting down an awful lot or driving, they just tend to get short and tight, and they inhibit the opposed muscles, which help you stand up right and support the back. So we loosened an awful lot of them out. You can see the Thompson test there before and after working on your hip flexors. So you can see there with the Thompson test here that Owen's hip flexors are a bit tight, because ideally this leg here should be hanging slightly down here off the plinth. If there's a good length in his hip flexors. Back many years you've been having problems.
What's it now? 2013. It's nearly 13 years now. Yeah.
13 years issue. So like I say, any little gain is a good thing for a chronic issue like this. Everything just gets the muscles shortened, they get compacted.
Yeah.
And then they stay. And you fast forward 20 years and you get stiff. That's science. That's Irish science, okay? So the more we can incorporate rehab exercises like the kettlebells for strengthening opposing muscles means any gains here will be able to keep. We look at one motion. When you're doing this, and then that's about 3 different motions at once. Yeah. Whereas they get in the habit of this, chest high, collapse it, hip straight. That's looking much more stable. There's less shake as well. Once you do 3 more. And just push hips through, breathe out. Back down. Only down halfway. And hips through again. Let the arms hang. Like it'll actually rub against the body, it's perfect. Again, down halfway. And hips through. And hips through. And put the weight down and rest. Walk away. You've gone from a situation where his first squat, he had a bit of pain and stiffness in his lower back on his first squat, and then he can deadlift within about 2 minutes. He could deadlift 20 kilos and no pain whatsoever. And it looked far more fluid. Thanks for listening, and join us again next week. Thanks very much.